Vision. Let's talk about what we need to see out of the dot relative to the target type. Now on this target, I have 3 specific target types. I have a 1-inch pacer, a 2-inch circle, and a 4x4 square, okay? Each one of those target types is gonna get a say into how much confirmation we allow out of the dot so that I can hit said target. There's 2 different ways to look at shooting visually. There's reactive shooting, and then there's predictive shooting. Reactive shooting simply means that I am physically reacting to something that my dot is doing relative to the target type. Predictive shooting is predicated on 2 things, grip and vision. Typically, if you have any change in pressure in your grip at all, you'll start to push into the gun and cause the shots to go low, low left if you're like me, and you're a right-handed shooter, low right if you're a left-handed shooter. Now vision, the vision side of the house. If I allow myself to take my focus off of the target and I start chasing a dot that's moving like this, my shots will typically track up and out of the target area. Now let's talk about the targets themselves, okay? Each of these targets, because they are in increasing size, will require less and less confirmation, okay? So let's talk about this 1-inch sticker, for example. If I'm trying to truly knock the center out of this thing, then I'm going to need the maximum amount of confirmation, or what is known as confirmation 3. So what that looks like for me is initially I'll start presenting the dot onto the target, and I'll have to see the dot interact and come to a momentary settle in the center of that square. As soon as that happens, I finish a good clean shot and I'll get lift, okay? And what happens next to the dot is called recovery. Now, how much recovery I allow out of the dot depends on the target size and the context, okay? So let's say I'm still focused on that square, okay? I just need to allow that dot to come back into the center of the square momentarily before I send another shot. So if I'm piecing together 3 shots, it should look like this. Bang, 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 all right? No more, no less. Now, if I transition over to the circle, will I need more or less confirmation in the square? Yes, you guessed it. I will need less, okay? So this is what typically on a confirmation 2 target, this is what I look for. Bang, 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 bang. So you see how the dot never really comes to a complete halt as I allow for a confirmation 1 target. It just kind of looks like a bouncing ball and it never really stops, okay? Now let's talk about this much bigger 4x4 down here, right? This is typically where I start to see confirmation 1, okay? Now, for me, that looks like a streak. It really doesn't look like a dot anymore. It just looks like a streak of color. So it looks like this. On initial presentation, I just need to see good enough. I send that first shot, we get lift, we get recovery, right? And then another lift immediately after that. So typically it'll look like this, 1, 2, 3. At about that pace, okay? Now, I don't like to tie people specifically to a cadence. I can't sit here and say, this has to be shot at a second pace. This one is a half a second. This one is a quarter. But we use those things to force you to maybe shoot faster than you're accustomed to, okay? What I'm really looking for is the behavior of the dot relative to the target. That's what's most interesting to me. Am I seeing what I need to see on a confirmation 3 target? Or can I shoot predictively on a confirmation 1 target? The confirmation levels on varying target types are going to be different. It's going to vary individual to individual. But the overlying principle is the same. I need to have a solid, consistent grip, and I need to have a precise, disciplined visual connection to the target as to inform those bullets to go exactly where I want them to go and inform the dot to behave accordingly. Now I'm going to demonstrate the confirmation levels, starting off with confirmation 3. All right, next, confirmation 2. And of course, confirmation 3. So there you have it. Those are the 3 confirmation levels. Of course, you can hear a difference in the pacing between confirmation 3 and confirmation 1. However, I'm not going to set out to just simply shoot one slow, shoot the next one less slow, and then go shoot fast, because that doesn't mean anything, okay? And typically the results aren't there. What I want you to focus on is shoot with less and less degrees of recovery from your sights relative to the target. That means stuff. A natural byproduct of that is as the target gets bigger and more forgiving, obviously the splits will become faster and faster. The way I just demonstrated these confirmation levels should be a solid jump off point for you. However, that's all I wanted to be. I want you to take this to the next level. I want you to see and apply the confirmation levels to you as an individual. With enough practice and enough time, you'll start to see that you can start requiring less and less and less confirmation level and also maintain that accuracy that we're looking for.